Charlie McLean. I'm a senior here and I'm studying mechanical engineering.
I'm Dominic. I'm a senior and I'm studying psychology.
I'm Julia. I'm also a senior studying mechanical engineering.
Hi, I'm Izzy. I'm a junior studying mechanical engineering.
So we have 3 bass sounds, all inspired by trance music, so techno trance music, that are supposed to kind of imitate water in space, like what it would be like if you were underwater and the water emitted sounds. And pretty much when we move these little fake buoys, there's an IMU loaded inside that tracks the motion and then reports 3 parameters to Max, which then links to Reason. Inertial motion measurement unit.
So this is the same as what's in the water, just our spare copy. So the buoy has this internal thing here, which you fit a battery and the IMU sensor into, and there's a little wire that connects them. And so every single one of these has its own battery and IMU housed inside. That gets slid into here, and then we have, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's an O-ring and tons of bolts that go around this top cover to basically seal it. And then we've waterproofed it by spraying it with Flex Seal, which was more successful than not. And then the idea is that it's weighed down by the battery and sort of can float around using this floaty. Although in the end we decided you get more dynamic sound if you ditch the stabilizing floaty and just sort of really let the buoys get kicked around and floated by the water. So each of these is really just a housing to protect everything when it's underwater and getting kicked around the whole time.
So the IMU is coded with Arduino, and we link that to the Max patch. So it's sending through different channels, so each one of these is a different channel.
Bluetooth?
Last night one of them did break, so we had to switch over to using an ESP as well as an IMU, and that's communicating through Wi-Fi.
All the electronics have to stay above water for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi to work.
The Arduino sends it to the Max patch over 3 channels, and each channel is mapped to a different sound, a different Reason instrument, and then the 3 axes that Izzy talked about are mapped to 3 different parameters on each instrument. They're set up to every 100 bangs or every 200 bangs it plays a sound, because once it passes the threshold of movement, it usually passes it with a large number of values, and so it will just send out a bunch of bangs. They happen every time the value changes. We're using a delay to calculate the whether or not something's moving and by how much. So every parameter value is going through one direct to a subtract node, and the other one is being delayed and then sent to the subtract node, so that it's basically creating a velocity, and then that number is what's being determined. Or the threshold is looking at that number to see when to send a bang. IMU1 is the Maelstrom. The Maelstrom has filter envelope attack, modulation rate, and the shaper. The thing that makes one, well, at least in our opinion, is the modulation rate, because it's a square wave, so it kind of makes all these different beep beep boop sounds at different speeds.
So rolling it changes the rate, and then just
The attack.
The Maelstrom is actually going to a EQ first, because when it gets hit on the lower chords, it was just producing a lot of low end that was kind of blocking out all other sound. So I'm filtering out the low end. And then that is going to this mixer, and all of the sounds that are going to this mixer are going to a big, huge reverb, and then it's going out. So that helps with the water sound. Virtuous Subtractor, this one has resonance on one axis, the LFO rate another, and then the third axis for this one is controlling both the filter envelope release and the second LFO rate. The third is this Europa. Originally we were going to try to use the performance controls to map to its parameters. I got that to work in class, but it wasn't working when I tried to do it for today. So instead, this Europa is going to a chorus/flanger module, and then the parameters are affecting that, so that there's some sort of change based on the movement of the IMU. They're all being controlled with a lot of slide knobs to filter the data, so it's not so crazy. It is like smooths the data being sent in, and it's being scaled at pretty much every point, and then goes through the random chords. This is the delay section. For each IMU, it takes the average of the 3 AXI values, and then that value is delayed and also sent as a not delay. It's subtracted from each other, and then the absolute value of the difference of them is one being used as the duration and velocity values, and then also dictating when the sound is played, because they will send bangs. Every 100 events, it will bang the make note, essentially. Independently, they're controlling the parameters of the module. Together, they are controlling the velocity and the duration of the sound, and of the, like, how fast it bangs.